Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us.
What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
Starting to pick up.
Yep. Well, that'll be great on live, on a podcast.
Hey, we may lose one of these canopies. There it goes.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, you're live, Irma. Welcome. What's up, Irma? How you doing? We got you. Hey, we're tapped into your computer there too, where you work. We can actually see you on video. I hacked your computer. So beautiful earrings today, Irma. You're always beautiful. Very nice.
You're so silly.
Here we go, Huntsville, as we welcome you in. Another beautiful day across East Texas, and I see a little bit of red starting to paint the sky out there, Pablo. You see that?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. It's been, I don't want to say it's been gloomy, but it's been kind of weird and like this monochrome color the past couple of days, so it's nice to see a little paint going. A little Bob Ross out there this morning. I saw him in the sky a while ago with this paintbrush. So
A little happy accident.
A little happy accident out there this morning. Well, welcome in, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on episode, I believe 115 now in Good Morning Huntsville. So great to have you joining us on a Thursday. A big thank you to our friend Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers for sponsoring our studio. Also, my good friend Paul Oley of the Gallery. And here on a Thursday, new face. Welcome in. Pablo Perez here in the house today, man. Mm-hmm. So good to have you, man.
Thank you for having me.
Color Bar is here, and Justin had this. I'm sure you guys are excited. Justin said, I'm going to get some of my staff on here. So it's a little bit early, but not too bad, right, Pablo?
Yeah, it's not so bad.
When is your normal roosting time?
It depends. And when the cat gets up.
Yeah, it's all about the cat, man. For me, well, I guess I'm lying. I would say it's all about the dogs, but I've been coming in a little bit earlier now, and I feel guilty because we have a 9-week-old baby and 22 or 23-month-old. I'm starting to lose time already what it is, but we have 2 dogs also. The 2 dogs sleep in the bedroom with us.
Oh, wow.
I strategically put the dogs next to my side of the bed, and they got their own cool little beds, and I feel bad because I used to like force them to get up and let them out before I left because I don't want Bridget having to get up and let them out. Well, this morning, sorry, sweetheart, I kind of snuck out and left the dogs in there. So it's probably time, if you haven't already, they probably need to go out, babe. So just wanted to throw that disclaimer in there. So, well, Pablo, man, good to have you. This is really exciting because we're getting to learn a lot more about new faces at the Color Bar. You've been there for a while, but just let me rephrase it like this, to see new faces on the show now. We're so thankful to have Justin on all the time, but I really like the idea that he said, hey, let's start showcasing some more of our employees, because Justin's like, the Color Bar isn't me, it's my employees, and And that's why Pablo is here today. Justin will be with us the first Thursday of the month, and then the rest of the Thursdays, it's always going to be one of you guys. So Birdie, you, I'm sure we'll have Gayla back on sometime and get to know all of you guys very much. But I guess let's dig right into it this morning. We'll have Michelle Spencer with Boys and Girls Club joining us here in just a little bit, but we'll get to know Pablo a little bit, man. We were talking off camera and grew up in the Seattle-Tacoma area. Let us know a little bit about your journey and, man, how you went from Seattle-Tacoma to Huntsville, Texas, man. There's even a little France like dashed in there somewhere.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty old, so.
I thought you were like 28 when you came in.
No.
And whenever you told me you were 71, I was like, what are you? I'm just kidding, man. Michelle was even looking over here like, man, what is this dude doing?
I'm not far.
No, you got a ways, man. Well, let us know the journey.
Well, I guess just growing up and fell in love with music, and that kind of took me to a bunch of places, to a bunch of different cities. And growing up, I was a military brat, so moving wasn't too foreign to me. In fact, I think it kind of got ingrained to where, after a couple of years, you get bored and you kind of move on and stuff. But I moved here from New Orleans about a year ago. And that was because, my girlfriend grew up here, but she's originally from New Orleans too. And so we were coming back here for family and stuff.
And you spent a little bit of time in Austin as well, right?
Yeah, 17 years.
Wow, that's not a little. That's a whole lot of time.
Yeah.
When was that? When was that from?
That was from about 93 to 2008.
So
my math is bad.
So you were like right there during the. I mean, it's still booming. I was telling you off camera whenever we were chatting earlier before we went on. I'm from Georgetown, and that whole area. I mean, for me, went from 14,000 people to over 100,000. Before I left and came to Huntsville, and I mean, you were kind of right there in the middle of the big start of the boom, I guess, back in the mid 90s.
Oh yeah, it went from like no traffic to nothing but traffic, and then the urban sprawl was going out and up. So, and then rent was just going sky high.
The rent is ridiculous.
Yeah, the place that I moved into was $289 when I moved in there, and when I had left Austin just for kind of gigs. I wanted to look and see how much that place was. It was $1,600.
Wow, $289 to $1,600. We're in the wrong business, my friend. So we'll reevaluate after we get off the show and figure out if there's going to be an episode 116. I'm just kidding, man. Well, again, Pablo Perez joining us this morning. He's a stylist over at the Color Bar, and I loved hearing some of your pastimes. It's always cool to get to know people a little bit more. And for you, have a band as well. So still doing some things with that also, correct?
Yeah, I actually kind of lend my talents wherever they're needed. So I have a band in Austin that's looking to have a reunion. I have a band in New Orleans still that we have an album coming out next year. And so I'm sure that'll involve touring. And then a band in New York that I just did 2 tracks for.
No way, man. Do you do a lot of audio engineering? Let us know kind of what you do with the bands.
I have done mixing and mastering for other bands also. It's just kind of like part of the journey, I guess, the progression. You go from artist, and then you go to engineer, and then producer, and then you kind of end up going, I'm just going to start putting out albums myself.
Yeah. Was Driver in there, any of the mix, Oh,
always. Anytime you tour, you're the driver.
It reminds me of some of the smaller schools, whenever you start looking at, in Texas, of course, everything's like 6-man, 1A, 2A, 3A, all the way up to 6A. Well, when you're talking, sometimes up to 3A, even very rarely nowadays 4A, your head football coach is also the athletic director. And that's true here in Huntsville. Our football coach, a great man, Rodney Southern, he's the athletic director, also the head football coach, but he's not driving the buses. But some of the smaller schools, the coaches are coaching the kids. They're mowing the lawn at the football field if they don't have artificial turf. They're driving the buses. I would even imagine some of them are out there flipping burgers, after the games. And that's what I love about the small schools. Some of them cook after the games, man.
Oh, yeah, like tailgating?
Yeah. So they do it for the kids because I learned this with New Waverly. Whenever you're in a smaller community, you're driving sometimes maybe 3 hours to a game. Well, when you're going to these small towns, there's nothing open that late at night. And so the kids have to eat. And so they'll usually do like a pop-up kind of tailgate after the game. And I'm going to tell you what, some of that tailgate, those burgers, those hot dogs, that's some of the best eating, man.
Well, it's funny because, like, for us, everyone gets assigned a role pretty much begrudgingly sometimes. But so you got to have your person that does the flyers, and then you have your person that does kind of like the album art, or, you know, back in the day, we would silkscreen our own T-shirts. We would do our own posters back on Xerox machines, you know. And we didn't have MySpace or Facebook or any of that, so it was all DIY. It was going to shows, passing out handbills or flyers, or, you know, sticking up in tattoo shops or skateboard shops, and it was just, that was boots on the ground.
Well, like when you were in Austin, and Guadalupe's a pretty big, you know, the drag over there had to be a lot of fun.
It is. I mean, it can get pretty crowded, but it's never as busy as 6th Street or Red River.
Yeah, that Red River's really taken off too. That's kind of
Yeah.
I kind of look at it like this in Austin. Like if you want, I don't know if you can say like if you want a more classy area of the, because it gets rowdy at night. There's a guy on Instagram now that has a I shouldn't laugh because it's actually not funny, but it kind of is. He has an Instagram account called Fights of ATX, and that's all he does is he films the fights that happen during the weekends.
I believe it. I mean, there was a time in Austin where, like, the only classy place was your home.
Yeah.
You know?
And I don't mean it like in a negative way. Let me rephrase it like the rowdy and less rowdy. Let me put it that way because it sounded kind of rude. I mean, Austin is a great city, but the Rainy Street is more of that kind of less rowdy, but still a little bit.
I used to live on Rainy Street back when it was a neighborhood, an actual neighborhood street. Now it's nothing but bars.
Yeah, every little house is right there. There was a lady, I think, that came through and started buying up those one by one and then converted it, and now that's kind of the new 6th in Austin.
Yeah, it really is.
I was driving Uber and Lyft for a time, and it is so narrow getting down that road. And I just started telling people, like, if you want to ride, you come all the way to the end over here and walk to my vehicle. I'm sure they probably, like, emailed Uber or whatever and complained against me. I was like, ain't nobody got time to drive down Rainy. I am not doing that. And it would take you like 15 minutes just to get down the street because literally it was 2-lane, but it was so packed that people couldn't get through.
It's like 6th Street before they would block off the streets, you know, that hour before, and it's just impossible because everyone's walking, you know, sideways, and then once the streets would get blocked off, then it's like, okay.
Well, before we bring Michelle on, wanted to give you an opportunity too, Pablo, just to, you know, talk about your journey in the industry that you're in now. You know, working at the Color Bar, you've been there for a year. How did all that kind of migrate to what you do now?
Well, because I was doing music, I was a bartender for such a long time because it afforded me to go on tour and stuff. But every time I came back, you know, there would be someone younger and prettier and stuff like that. So it got to the point where I was like, you know what? One day I'm going to come back and I'm not going to have a job, you know, and bartending, I'm not going to be able to compete with younger, prettier people. So might as well just focus on making people pretty.
Yeah, there you go.
So honestly, I was doing all my bandmates' hair anyway, and I'd been doing it since I was 15.
Well, how'd you learn? Like, how did you learn how to do that?
I just looked at it and did it.
That's a talent, then, man. That is what I call a God-given talent. Whenever you just do that, you know.
In bands, it didn't matter how bad your hair was. I mean, the worse it was, the cooler it was, right?
Yeah.
So there was no. There honestly was no mistake. It was a bunch of Bob Ross. It was a bunch of happy accidents with color, with manic panic.
Yeah, I like it, man.
And that's basically, you know, and then once I got to a point, I was like, maybe I should just start doing this professionally. And so I did. I went to school and did that. And I found out that actually I could do the same thing that I was doing with bartending because I could tour and do things like that. And it gave me a lot of freedom. You know, both artistically and also personally. So,
and how'd the journey to the Color Bar kind of end up? You know, moving here to Huntsville and coming from.
Well, once me and my girlfriend decided to come here, it wasn't too long after we moved here that I was just looking at the market just to see what's around here because I was pretty convinced that I was going to have to work in Houston, and so but I looked at the market and I think I literally just clicked on Color Bar and
you're like, what's this?
I said, well, okay, that looks cool, you know. I didn't know there was an upscale salon here, you know, and I didn't really know anything about this place. So, but then, you know, they messaged me instantly, and then I went in and talked to Justin, and then we found out that we both used to work, like, about 15 years ago. I used to work at a place called Green Apple, and he had worked there, and so
Oh, cool.
we realized that we had both, worked at the same place, and so that was kind of the foot in the door.
And so you've been at the Color Bar now for about a year or so. Is that right?
In November, it'll be a year.
So coming up on a year, man, we're gonna have to have a big celebration for you. The live. I'm imagining right now as I kind of close my eyes and picture this. It's a big kind of arch when you walk through that says 1 year, congratulations to you, Pablo. And then there's like sparklers that are spinning outside, throwing sparks everywhere.
Burning people's hair.
Yeah, little happy accidents, right? So
new clients, new guests.
Real briefly too, what are some of the things that what is your expertise area? What are some things that you really focus on? Maybe you stand out from some of the other stylists there.
I think that we all contribute something that is unique and special.
Mm-hmm.
I never walk in. I mean, I always walk in and never see something that I'm not impressed with. It's awesome. I just walk in there and I'm like, wow, that person is great. Wow, that person is great. That person is great. And I love watching them, bud, I guess is the word,
Yeah.
And so it inspires, and it inspires, I think, each of us in our own way. But I generally specialize in designs. For me, the edgier, the better. But I do know that we're in a smaller town, so sometimes it's not as sought after,
Yeah.
No one's coming in going, I want half black, half white, and I want undercut, and all
That's
this
what
stuff.
I was just thinking. Next time I'm going to come in and ask for that, man.
Yeah, we can actually put hair on you and then take it off.
All right, perfect. There you go, man. So, go by and see Pablo. Great guy, and he's going to take great care of you, just like the rest of the folks at the Color Bar. We'll talk more with Pablo on the back end of the show. For now, though, we're going to step aside, take a break, and bring on our friend Michelle Spencer here in just a few moments. And before we do, this week's keyword, how about the word fun? We just wanted to keep it simple. Fun. Text that keyword in alongside your name to 936-339-0139. Again, the keyword is fun alongside your name to 936-339-0139. And today we're giving away more of those awesome Skittles. Man, this is a $35 value. This ain't your grandma's Skittles over here. And if you don't mind, Pablo, hold these up real quick. This is freeze-dried Skittles, courtesy of our good friends over at 0 Degree Candy. So how about that? Yeah, there you go, man, from Clay Talsworth. And he freeze-dries these things. If you're a Skittle lover like me, but you don't like that sticky, get-out-of-your-teeth feeling, guess what, man? These things are like popcorn because they're freeze-dried. They crunch in your mouth, and you ain't got to worry about that sticky icky with these things. They're all good, man. So we're giving those away today, and we've also got some extra gifts as well, including T-shirts and more, and a little prize pack. Also have some discount cards that we're going to be giving away to the Color Bar as well. So we'll have that and more when we come back. Remember, go ahead and text in that keyword fun alongside your name on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine. And yes, I know cuisine is misspelled. Quentin found that out. He won. It was a $100 little Easter egg prize that we had going on for a long time. Quentin figured it out, and he figured out, the issue with the show was cuisine is misspelled. So he got $100 yesterday, and I'm $100 poor this morning. So, Quentin, glad you won it, though, buddy. We'll step aside. We'll take a break. More to come as we continue on. It is your show, Huntsville, as always. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
USA News, I'm Lance Pry. General Motors and Stellantis said they have laid off additional workers because of consequences related to the United Auto Workers strike. General Motors said in a statement yesterday that it had halted production at its assembly plant in Fairfax, Kansas, because of a shortage of critical stampings that would have been supplied by a factory in Wentzville, Missouri, where workers went on strike last week. About 2,000 workers are affected. Earlier yesterday, Stellantis said it was laying off about 370 employees at 3 parts factories in Ohio and Indiana immediately. This is due to storage constraints also related to the strike. The plants make parts for Jeep vehicles built at the automaker's Toledo Assembly Complex, where workers are also on strike. Another deadline is approaching tomorrow at noon Eastern. If demands are not met, more UAW members are expected to walk off the job. No more rate hikes. for now.
After a series of 10 consecutive rate hikes from March 2022 to May 2023, the Federal Reserve is now temporarily halting further increases. But Fed Chair Jerome Powell says,
we're prepared to raise rates further if appropriate, and we intend to hold policy at a restrictive level until we're confident that inflation is moving down sustainably toward our objective.
Powell says the hikes were aimed at addressing inflation. I'm John Schaefer.
The Department of Homeland Security announced last night the Biden administration plans to offer nearly 500,000 Venezuelan nationals temporary permission to live and work in the United States legally. More than 7.3 million people have fled Venezuela in recent years. That's according to the United Nations. DHS plans to extend temporary protection status, or TPS, to Venezuelan migrants who arrived by July 31st, 2023. Lance Pry, USA News.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Consult your healthcare provider before use.
Introducing Vinia, a breakthrough superfood with a full matrix of polyphenols from the red grape. Enjoy the health benefits of a bottle of red wine minus the alcohol, sugar, and calories.
The improvements that Vinia has made to my life have been tremendous. There was no better test for me that it was working than when I had to go off of it. Everything just fell back in. The fog, the falling asleep in the afternoon, that's why I know it works, is because I went without it for a few days and hello, my old self again.
In a clinical trial, Vinia significantly increased the dilation of arteries. This dilation increases your blood flow and the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to your brain, heart, and other tissues, supporting heart health and improving your physical energy and mental alertness. Use code RADIO to get 10% off your first order at ordervinia.com. That's ordervinia.com. Ordervinia.com. Vinia, better blood flow, better life.
There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin Murphy and Orby, and even offer Valami hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why, at the Color Bar Hair Salon, you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon.
All right, we're bringing it back to you here. A little after 7:30. Hey, guess what? If you have to be at work at 8 o'clock, you still have time to get to work on time this morning. I always say that because I always tell you, if it's like 8 o'clock and you're supposed to be at work at 8 o'clock, don't even show up because you're probably fired. But for the first time ever on this show, I will tell you, if you have to be at work at 8, you got a chance to be on time today and keep your
Absolutely.
job. Michelle Spencer joining us today. Good to see you,
morning.
Michelle. It's your second time on the show, I believe.
It is. I think I was episode 12 or 13.
You were early on.
Yeah.
So we decided to, wait a whole minute. And then I said, we're going to bring you back on eventually. And so great to have Michelle here. We'll dig in with Michelle here in just a few moments. Before we do, I want to remind you, we are back here from our studio downtown. Big thank you to Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers and Paul Oley of the Gallery. And as always, on a Thursday, wouldn't be able to be here without our friends from the Color Bar, and excited to have Pablo on. We've got a new face on Thursdays now with us, so excited to have Pablo here today. Are you going to be back next week, or is it Gala? Do you know what the story is next week?
I'm not sure. I thought it was going to be Chris.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know Chris yet. So I know you, I know Birdie, I know Gala. I don't know Chris. So I will know him next week. So it's all good. Michelle's here with us today, Boys and Girls Club, incredible work. And Michelle, first and foremost, not saying it to butter you up, because I buttered you up a lot over the years.
Thank you.
I don't know, but I'm always going to butter you up because, and I say this out of the deepest part of my heart, that this community so appreciates your joy and energy that you bring to Huntsville. When I think of people who bring that joy, right away, Emily always comes to mind first. Emily O'Rear comes to mind first.
For sure.
But then you are a very close second, just with the energy that you bring. So,
thank you.
How have you been? What's been going on?
I've been really good. This has been the year of excitement and the roller coaster of appreciation has just been phenomenal. And, this is a 30-year career and finally getting flowers.
Yeah. Okay. So there's the flowers are coming in too now. Yeah. Have you been, is it 30 years with Boys and Girls Club?
30 years with Boys and Girls Club, yes.
Wow. So you've been doing it since you were 2 years old. That is unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I think of the Boys and Girls Club. It was something that unfortunately I didn't know about until I was already out of high school and had already grown up a little bit, just because there wasn't a whole lot of talk about it in the community that I grew up in. I really feel, especially over the last 10, 15 years, that on a national scale, that Boys and Girls Club has really started to receive a lot of recognition, a lot of promotion, and especially a community like Huntsville. There are so many things that are going on, and just give us a quick overview. I know a lot of folks out there know what the Boys and Girls Club is, but I guarantee there's a handful that are watching or listening this morning, thanks to those of you that are on Spirit Radio, by the way, joining us this morning. There may be folks out there that are saying, what is the Boys and Girls Club? Give us just a brief synopsis and kind of a rundown of what the Boys and Girls Club is and what y'all do.
So Boys and Girls Club has been around since 1860. Very long time, and it used to be called the Boys Club. And Boys and Girls Club of Walker County was formed in 2003, so we are celebrating 20 years of service in the Walker County area, serving kids K through 12th grade in an after-school and summer camp capacity. And all of our kids are unique and fun, and really kids who just need someone to pay a little of attention to them in the afternoons and assist them with homework and provide a hot meal and give them extra tools to be productive, responsible citizens of our community, which is our mission. And we serve anywhere from 180 to 220 kids a day.
Wow.
And, our staff are phenomenal. We have some that are students at Sam Houston who are practicing their skills with the kids at the club. And then we have some seasoned staff who have had a career and retired and wanted to continue to give back. And they've come to join our team. And it's just a group of individuals who love working with children and giving them all the tools they need to be great people.
Yeah, it's great. And I think the work, especially with our Boys and Girls Club here in Huntsville under your leadership, has done such great things. Pablo, you and I both said, wow, when I heard that number, upwards of 200 children that are impacted every single day.
Yeah.
Are you familiar, Pablo, just kind of, being in the Seattle area and you've moved around quite a bit. You're saying kind of growing up in a military family. Are you familiar with Boys and Girls Club?
Yeah, I mean, in bigger cities, they're more prominent,
Absolutely.
especially in the more, I would say, urban cities like, just really metropolitan New York, Chicago, LA, those kind of cities. And we would always see the commercials, of course, on football games and stuff like that. So it's just showing how everyone gives back and kind of participates and volunteers, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
The thing about our club is that when you form a Boys and Girls Club through Boys and Girls Club of America, we are kind of standalone. There are requirements that we have to do in order to carry the name, but we raise our own money, we create our own programs, and so all the money that we raise stay local. We don't have to pay back anything to Boys and Girls Club of America, but 1% of our expenses of the year, which is nothing. And they provide so many avenues and resources to us that rural clubs like ours could really flourish and be able to provide great services.
Yeah, and it's, again, you said, 30 years coming up here for you, Michelle, which has been an incredible journey. And
it's been amazing.
Before when I was growing up, and like I said, I didn't know much about it. I didn't understand what it was. But the one thing that I do remember was it was just called the Boys Club. And then so when did, they wanted to make sure that everybody was welcome and felt welcome.
Are you ready for this?
Yes. When did that?
1994, when it went from Boys Club to Boys and Girls Clubs. And 94, I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Girls rule the world. And And so programs were already providing for girls, but then we became very mindful and really started to dive in about specifics things that girls really need. And we serve all kids, no matter what, and we're about giving kids the tools that they need to be great students, great adults, from homework assistance to life skills to low organized sports, you name it, we provide it.
Yeah, it's great to have an organization like the Boys and Girls Club of Walker County here in this area. Whenever we hear of Walker County, a lot of times it just thinks, hey, well, it's just Huntsville, but it's not. It's you guys are encompassing the entire county.
Yeah,
maybe expand on that a little
bit. Most of the kids that come during the school year are within the city limits. And because we have about 11 buses that drop off at the club every day from Huntsville ISD, which is a great partner. And during the summer, we get kids from Riverside and Dodge and New Waverly and even Conroe. We have parents that work here in Huntsville who live in Conroe. They bring their kids up, drop them off at the club, and pick them up at the end of their work shift. And so we really serve all of Walker County and even outside of the county during the summer.
It's a really great, again, for just children to have I know right now that when my youngsters are of the age when they get into school, I want them to be a part of Boys and Girls Club.
Well, we'd love to have them.
So I think it's just an incredible resource. And my dad growing up always said, you better do your homework. And
well, that's our focus.
I'll be honest, Dad, if you're watching this morning, he knows I kind of skidded around the truth a little bit because I played basketball every day at the Georgetown Rec Center. That was my go-to. And he'd go, did you get your homework done? Yes, Dad. Well, I didn't get my homework done. I was playing ball. If you go to the Boys and Girls Club, you're going to get your homework done.
It's a requirement.
Yep.
I mean, it's one of our rotations that everyone participates in. And this gives families time in the afternoon and the evenings when they're picked up to enjoy being a family and not have to worry about the homework and the crying and the falling out because they don't want to do it. We do have some kids who say, I don't have homework. It's like, okay, well, if you don't have homework, then guess what? It's time to read. Oh, wait a minute. I remember I've got a math homework. It all comes back to light. But we are about providing an opportunity for them to complete homework, work on projects, and use the resources at the club to be able to complete that.
Well, Michelle Spencer again joining us this morning here on Good Morning Huntsville. Some events coming up right around the corner on October the 14th that we'll talk about here in a moment. And also a trip to BYU and some interaction there that we want to bring up as well. So we're going to talk about both of those things here when we come back really briefly. We're going to step aside, take a break. Before we do, I want to remind you, text in that keyword. We're giving away some candy. I don't know if we want to give any of that away to the kids at the Boys and Girls Club, though. They may be going a little wild if we give them some of the
We
Skittles.
take treats all the time.
So maybe you win the prize today and you said, you know what, I don't really want those Skittles. You can go donate to the Boys and Girls Club.
Absolutely. We'll take them.
So text in the word FUN along with your name on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. We'll step aside for a brief moment. We'll be back and talk about BYU and also a big event coming up on October the 14th. Stay with us, friends, as we continue your show, Good Morning Huntsville.
In Huntsville, Texas. A trusted, family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at GuardianDefenseLLC.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
All right, Huntsville friends, back at it here. 7:44. You got 16 minutes to get to work if you're supposed to. You know what? Some people, you're getting down to the wire because it takes, man, Huntsville traffic is just so absolutely terrible. It takes 10 minutes to get anywhere in this town.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
10 minutes. I remember when I first moved here, it took me about 5 minutes to get from Elkins into town. It was no big deal. And, I mean, I'm spoiled. 10 minutes is nothing. And it's funny because when the students get back from Sam Houston, you know, it might take 11 minutes instead.
Yeah, that 11. I mean, it's like the other day I told somebody, I said, boy, we dodged a bullet. And they said, why? I said, man, it was 109. It was 1 degree away from 110. Boy, what a bullet we dodged. So, Pablo, I'm sure you know, coming from living in several big cities, that the traffic here is just horrendous, right?
Yeah.
Or did I say Jesse?
No, you said
No,
Pablo.
you said Pablo.
Okay, yeah, because I was just talking to Jesse earlier. For some reason, like the word, you look like a friend that I had growing up named Jesse, and I'm like having to like tell you look exactly like. Low joke, a guy named Jesse that I know, and I was said, I'm going to slip on this show and say Jesse before too long, and I thought I just did it.
Well, now we have to put up their pictures.
Oh, man, yeah. I'm going to have to dig it up and find a picture of him. So, well, friends, welcome back in. Thanks for joining us this morning. Here's our friend Michelle Spencer, Boys and Girls Club, joining us. Gave us a little bit of background to get on the Boys and Girls Club. But something really, really special. I want to show just a few minutes of this. It's 8 minutes total. We're only going to show a few minutes of it. But, Michelle, give us just a very brief background of what you were so blessed to be a part of here recently.
Well, you know, Sam Houston went into a new conference, and their first opponent of the season was Brigham Young University. And they have a TV show on BYU TV that highlights great things happening in their opponent's town. So they called Sam Houston and said, hey, you know, we'd like to highlight someone. They sent over the Heritage magazine for them to kind of review and pick one of their already highlighted stories. And they chose Boys and Girls Club, Michelle Spencer. And there was an entire film crew that came to Huntsville for 3 days and recorded various people in our community, as well as myself. And when they brought the camera crew to the club, the filming was from 2 p.m. until 9:30 that night. I had a wardrobe change. I had a makeup done. And after the filming, they said, you know, we haven't done this before, but we'd like to bring your husband, you and your husband, to the game. Would you like to do that?
Duh.
We're like, we've never been to Utah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And that following week, they called and said, we need this information. They flew us out, gave us a rental car, a hotel, and treated us to some really great sightseeing in Provo and Salt Lake, and had us on the field after showing the video that they created highlighting some of my life's work. And I still to this day think, Lord, why me? But I'm grateful, and I'm glad that we were recognized on a national level, in my opinion.
It was, yeah.
87,000 people watch BYU TV. And being at the stadium after it was aired and we were on the football field and they cut from the video to us, and afterwards, as we were walking to our seats, there were people going, hey, wait a minute, we just watched you. Like, oh my goodness, thank God you're here. And the people were just amazingly nice, almost eerie. We were the opponents, and they were very hospitable to us.
That's great.
It was a great experience.
I don't ever put anybody down, but let me tell you this real quick, and Bearcat fans will know this. JMU, take a page out of BYU's book, because JMU, not Bearcat friendly. BYU, very Bearcat friendly.
It was crazy. And, you know, we're geared up in everything Sam Houston, and all weekend. So it wasn't just at the game, but it was in the community and at the places that they took us. They were just so hospitable.
Did you get the free ice? Did they give you ice cream?
Ice cream at the
That's
end
a
of
big
the
thing
first.
over there, Pablo.
At the end of
Yeah.
the first quarter, they gave out 8-ounce cups of their ice cream from the BYU Creamery.
Oh, wow.
Which was extremely delicious. We got graham crackers, something or another, and it was amazing.
It's good stuff. And we're going to play, and you may have to give me just a moment to make sure that this thing fires off correctly, but we're going to play a short little couple of minutes here of this video that BYU TV produced. This is their content that they produced. You can go and watch the full video of Michelle. They called it Michelle Spencer, Measuring a Life of Service, at byutv.org. But here's some of that right now with Michelle Spencer.
All right, Juan, thank you for being my partner, sir. I appreciate you. We're going to get him next time.
I love to hear their giggles. I love to see them run and play. It's great when they want to tell you stories that go on and on and on, and you just giggle because they can't ever get to the end of the story.
To them, she's Beyonce. Like, that's what it feels like. It's like she's a celebrity.
Thank you.
She has a passion for it, but it's a passion with a singular focus toward the betterment of the staff, singular focus toward the betterment of each and every child.
Michelle Spencer is one of those Bearcats, our Sam Houston State University alumni, who is impacting the world one child at a time.
Are you done playing softball?
I didn't make it to All-Stars.
I think Sam Houston State University has the best motto in the country, which is, the measure of a life is its service. It's one thing to be able to recite it, but how do you walk it? How do you live it? People like Michelle Spencer do live it. But not only do they live it for themselves, they inspire other people to get involved.
I'm a Bearcat, and I left to start a career in public relations and couldn't find a job. And I started volunteering and working with the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Fort Worth. And a colleague of mine came into my office and said, well, there's a club in Huntsville. Didn't you go to Sam Houston? I said, yes. She goes, they're looking for a CEO. You should consider it. So I thought, okay, God, what are you doing to me, right? June 2nd, 2005, I get the call. At the time, I had a 7th grader, a 5th grader, and a 3rd grader, and I'm uprooting everything to move to Huntsville.
Okay, now somebody has to show me what I did wrong.
5 of my first years here, I was the only full-time employee.
I needed help. And I started talking to folks at Sam Houston saying, hey, do you have work study? I'm looking for some help.
We do matchmaking between faculty members and community organizations that have a variety of needs so that our students get these real-world experiences.
It was like amazing. Anytime there's something new, they call me. Hey, are you interested? I got you covered. I've got the kids, you've got the students, you've got the expertise. Bring them on.
In Boys and Girls Club, they can see the connection of their future profession, their discipline, to community engagement. And that kind of lights a fire.
I'm studying at Sam Houston. I'm a psychology major, and my dream job, which I'm going to be, is a therapist. So this job is like a great stepping stone because you're like little mini therapists. Each child, they have their own story going home. They have their own way that they live. So coming here, they'd be like, Miss Cameron, I gotta talk to you. And without, going too deep with them, I try to help them the best way I can.
One of the easiest things in the world to do is just to walk out here and just make a mistake. The Boys and Girls Club is almost like a compass. Keep them moving in the right direction.
If I'm honest, my family life growing up, I did struggle a lot, And so I can kind of see myself in some of the members. And so that's why the job is really personal to me, and I take it really seriously.
But there are times where I wanted to throw my hands up and say, I'm done. I don't want to have to deal with the day-to-day struggle. Some days it felt like it was too much. A few months ago, my husband was hospitalized because he started a new medication and he had adverse reaction to it. Those 4 or 5 days in the hospital was rough. There were lots of ups and downs in his status, and I needed to walk out. I couldn't let him see me cry, right? And I'm walking through the corridor to go out the front of the hospital, and I hear this voice, Miss Michelle. And I turn around, it's one of my phlebotomy students, one of my adult students. And she said, I work here now as a phlebotomist. Thank you for believing in me.
Michelle, that's so great, and there's more to that video. Folks can go to byutv.org. But, that the whole making of that and just being a part of that and getting to share the story of the Boys and Girls Club on a national scale, just so incredible, so great.
I tear up every time I watch it, and I've watched it multiple times since. It's has been a wild journey, but it has been a journey that I would do over again. I have met some really amazing people. I've worked with some great board members and staff, and I'm not a one-person show. There's a lot of folks that work within Boys and Girls Club of Walker County that do the day-to-day that impact the lives of children. And I'm just the face, but we've got some really great folks doing amazing things every day.
Well, I just love your passion for it too, and it's very clear that this is something that is, it's your life service. This is what the good Lord put in your path, and you have embraced it, and you have really made a tremendous impact on these young people. And the best thing about all this, of course, besides the children, the impact that you're making, is we know now you're Beyonce. So welcome in, Beyonce. I didn't know we were sitting next to him. I knew a celebrity, but I didn't know this kind of celebrity, Pablo. I don't know what to do, man.
I didn't know that Travis had stated that until I watched the video, and I went, "What? Beyonce of all the people?" It's a great honor to be considered walking in Beyonce's feet, but
Yeah, well, you got a concert coming up here in Houston. I just saw on the news last night. So, well, Michelle Spencer again with Boys and Girls Club joining us today, sharing a little bit more about Boys and Girls Club and her story and her journey and the impact that she's making on young people here throughout the county and our community. Speaking of all of that, of course, it takes funds to keep these organizations going as a 501c3 nonprofit. There's so much involved, and you do have staff, but you know what? Those resources don't just fall from the sky. It's the community giving back. And because of that, you guys put on many events throughout the year, and one of the biggest one that's coming up is on October the 14th. Tell us more about the event.
Oktoberfest Bingo. This will be our second year to host a bingo night. And the doors will open up at 5, and we'll play 10 fun games throughout the night with the silent and live auction, and lots of fun activities throughout the night. It's just a wholesome activity within the Boys and Girls Club. So if you haven't had a chance to see the inside of the club, this will be your opportunity. If you'd like to sponsor, you can always go to our website. But if you'd just like to come and play and hope that you can win, check out our website at walkercountykids.org and purchase a ticket or two and come play with us.
Yeah, see right there. The ticket, $65 per person. Again, on Saturday, October the 14th, 6 to 10. 10 games and prizes, silent auction, live auction, foods, drinks. Best part of this, the whole graphic right there. I see Pablo there on the side. So Pablo, looking pretty fly there, Pablo.
My leader hosen.
Oh, that is great. But I love it. Again, you can get more information online at walkercountykids.org. Is there still sponsorship opportunities available?
There's a few. Only a few, but we do have a couple of seats available. And like I said, it's just a night of actually raising money that stays local to help offset some of the cost of what we do. You know, we write grants year-round, and those grants are very specific to certain programs and opportunities that we provide to the children. And so this really will help offset some of our general operating funds, payroll, things of that nature.
Awesome. Well, again, be a part of this on Saturday, October the 14th, 6 to 10 p.m. It is our good friends at the Walker County Boys and Girls Club, and led there by Michelle Spencer and her wonderful staff. And it's not just this event. You can give at any. Maybe you can't make that event on that Saturday. You know what? You can still go online and give. You don't just have to be a part of the event, although that's a fun thing to give as well. Those bingo nights too are a lot of fun. So.
They are insanely fun. BJ McMichael, if you all know him, he is our host for the night. And we've got some fun things that he'll be doing throughout the night. We are also in the process of doing a fun raffle. And as we get closer to finalizing all of this is a plug, for all of the parts of that, I'll send it over to you, Rob, and you can be the first person to hear about it.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. We're gonna invite Pablo to, we'll auction off a night with Pablo and his band. So no, I'm just kidding, Pablo.
Let's do it. Whoa. Let's do it.
Pablo's like, wait a minute, hold on, I didn't agree to any of this. Anyways, Michelle, it's been so much fun having you on, and just love the opportunity for for folks to learn more, not just about you, but about the work that you're doing through the Boys and Girls Club. Like I said, when our children are of age, I definitely want them to be a part of it, and I think it's just an incredible opportunity for young people. It doesn't matter, look, whether you have a child that's struggling or a child that just needs a place to go. I think it's so important to be around children and to be around community for other children to be around. And this is a great way for them to grow.
We are a safe place for kids to go in the afternoon, and they learn those simple life skills that take them on for forever. And we take any child. We do not turn a child away. And it only costs a family $40 annual membership fee, which gets you the limited spaces that we have, and then a $40 a month activity fee per child. And you're going, whoa, wait a minute, that's really inexpensive. Well, it's these fundraisers and grant writings that we do to offset the cost for a family. Daycare is expensive, and we want them to all children to have an opportunity to go somewhere where they're safe, they're loved, they're giving skills, and they join a family.
Awesome. There she is again, Michelle Spencer joining us. I didn't know, Pablo, if you had any final questions maybe for Michelle or anything that was popping into your mind.
No, I'm actually pretty impressed.
Thank
you. I think Pablo and I are going to come hang out over there sometime.
Well, come on,
so
we'll take
you.
you.
Be a lot of fun.
Play a little foosball.
Yeah, that's right. I'm terrible.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. We got a pool table.
Okay, yeah.
Get
Well,
pool?
I'm fair.
Okay, we've got an Xbox, gaming.
It's funny you mention all this, and like I'll never forget my niece. I go over it. It was like when the Nintendo Wii had first came out, and she's literally like 4 years old, and she's just tearing up this
She beat
game.
you?
Yeah, and I'm over there trying to play, and she's like, "Uncle Rob, just don't play because you're so slow." I was like, "Cool, thanks a lot, Zoe. Appreciate you."
Well, look, we've got basketball.
There you go. Now you're talking my alley.
Yeah, well, come
Yeah.
on. You know, we're always looking for people to share their talents at the club as a volunteer. So, you know, check out our website. And if you're looking to volunteer, we take you.
Awesome. Well, there she is, Michelle. Thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you, Rob,
such
for
a
having
privilege
me
to have
again.
you today. You
Pablo,
bet.
nice to meet you.
You too. Thank you.
Well, we'll wrap it up on the other side when we come back. Again, big thank you to Michelle for being with us this morning from Boys and Girls Club. We'll check in with you about once a quarter, so it's always good to have you on the show and give us some updates and the incredible work that the Boys and Girls Club, again, is doing under Michelle's leadership. For now, though, we'll step aside, take a break, and do want to remind you one final time to get in that keyword for today's drawing. We're all about giving away stuff here on Good Morning Huntsville. I thought about actually putting on our windows saying daily prizes because we've been really blessed with so many folks in the community that give us stuff to give away, that we literally give away gifts and prizes here every single morning. And so go ahead, one final time today, text in the keyword fun alongside your name on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. I think Randolph is getting close to being open over there, by the way, just down the street from us. But you can text that in to 936-339-0139. Bad news, if you're supposed to be at work at 8 o'clock, it's 8:05, and you probably don't have a job. So we'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. More to come here as Pablo and I will wrap it up with you here on Good Morning Huntsville right after this.
There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin Murphy and Orby, and even offer Valami hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why, at the Color Bar Hair Salon, you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon.
All right, friends. You ever feel this 80s kind of... You ever feel that, Pablo? Or not really?
I've created music like this before.
Really? We'll have to get you in here to do some... We're going to hit... One day when we hit the big jackpot here at Good Morning Huntsville and Hello Huntsville, I'll bring you in. We'll pay you every dime that you're worth to produce some really cool stuff for us, man. We'll figure that out down the road. Pablo, it's been a lot of fun, man. Thanks for being
Same
here
here,
as
thank
well. And getting to learn a little bit more about you and the great work that you're doing at the Color Bar. And, friends, I always encourage you, please get out and support local business. And I like what you said earlier, that the Color Bar is more of kind of this high-end salon, but it doesn't have the high-end prices. But you definitely get the high-end experience. When you're there, it's just a very comfortable, that's one of those weird words sometimes when I try to say it. It's one of those really great places. It's just a very comfortable atmosphere when you go in, Jesse.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. I love it.
one of those things too, when you think about, there's so many places that you can go get your hair taken care of at. What is something for you as an employee working at the Color Bar that you feel really sets you guys apart from other folks? Not bashing anybody else, but just something that you do and that the Color Bar does as an employee that you feel, man, this is where we really do a great job.
Education. That's first and foremost. I mean, a lot of salons do it, but we do it a lot, and we focus on the betterment of each stylist. Even somebody who is seasoned learns something new. I learn something new every day, so I actually love it.
Well, we do have that opportunity for our guest this morning that is has an opportunity to win these amazing candies from our good friend Clay Towsworth over at 0 Degree, man. So we need to get to this, and we don't have a name on this number that came in on our randomizer. I have no idea who this is, but we actually give this stuff away live, Jesse.
Oh, okay.
And so we're gonna hit the phone line. Sorry, I kind of threw that down there, man. A little authority on these Skittles. Let's head over to the phone line this morning. This is a no-namer, so I have no idea who it is. They didn't follow directions, but that's okay. They can still win. The thing is, you have to answer to win.
They might be at work.
Your call has been Oh, man, an opportunity there for somebody to win this morning. And guess what, buddy? They didn't win. They did not answer the phone, and so they did not win this morning. Good news is we can just go to the next number. Our system, though, doesn't tell us if we've already called this person, so I hope it's not the next one. Yes, good morning. Who are we speaking with?
Good morning, it's Birdie.
Oh, what? Are you kidding me? Man, you're going to make it so easy because all Jesse has to do, or Pablo, see, there it was, man. There it was, Pablo. All Pablo has to do is just take this back to the Color Bar. Wow. Well, Birdie.
Pablo, what did I win?
Well, you won some Skittles this morning. Freeze-dried Skittles, courtesy of our good friends at 0 Degree Candy and Clay Towsworth.
Oh, thank you, Clay. I needed Skittles in my life.
But you know what, Pablo? She didn't do. She kind of didn't follow directions. Didn't text in her name. Did not text in your name along with that. So do you think we should still go ahead and give it to her?
I'll have to leave a mystery here.
Do you think we should go ahead and give it to her, or just kind of neglect this one because I didn't follow directions, Pablo? What do you think?
I'm going to step out of this decision.
Pablo's he's actually thinking no, we're bringing it to her, but I get half of those Skittles.
Yeah.
So, well, Birdie, congratulations. And you are the winner today of this beautiful, big old huge tub of Skittles that, hey, do I have your permission to eat a few of them before Pablo brings them to you?
Absolutely.
All right, there you go, Pablo. I knew we'd find a way to get some of these Skittles.
She's going to get them about this full.
Yeah, you'll get them down to about a third of what they are right now. So, well, Birdie is a stylist. I promise I did not select you. I had no idea who you were. You didn't put your name. Randomizer picked you. Birdie is a stylist over at the Color Bar, and go by and see her. How are things settling in? You've been there for, a little over a month now, Birdie?
Actually, no. We're 2 weeks in. It feels
2
like
weeks?
I've been there forever, though.
Oh, well, you're still in that honeymoon period, so we're going to make sure this will keep you going. We always call that first month the honeymoon period, and guess what you get when you go to honeymoons? You're supposed to get gifts, so we're bringing you good gifts of candy this morning.
Oh, thank you. I needed the sugar to keep me going.
Hey, Birdie, we're also going to include some gift certificates to the Color Bar. Just kidding.
There you go. You get $25 off.
Yeah, you get $25 off your next cut over there, Birdie. All right.
Cut by Birdie.
Yeah. Birdie, who cuts your hair, by the way? Who does your hair? Who styles your hair?
Normally me, but I did let Kaylin over there actually take good care of me the other day. She gave me a nice haircut, and I was super happy with it.
Okay, all right. I didn't know if it's called like haircuts with women's hair. Do you call it a haircut? I mean, you just did. So
yeah.
Because I'm thinking I should say the word style. Like, who styles your hair?
You pretty much style.
Haircut and style. Haircut and blowout.
Little styling and profiling. Old Birdie over at the Color Bar. All right, Bertie, happy 2 weeks, and happy Candy Day to you. Congratulations. Jesse and I will eat half of this, and you'll get a little bit left over, so congratulations. Or Pablo.
My twins will fight you
I just
for
did.
it.
I threw that in on purpose, Pablo. Did you hear earlier, Bertie, what happened? I have a friend named Jesse that looks exactly like Pablo, and I said sometime during the show I'm going to start calling him Jesse, and I did it twice now during this phone call. Did you notice that?
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Yeah, well, it's actual known mental problem, and I've got some brain disconnects, and my good friend over at Learning RX, Lisa Branch, is literally, I'm not making fun, she's helping me with this because my long-term memory is absolutely terrible. So go by and see her, Bertie, if you ever got any memory issues, okay?
I got to meet her on Tuesday, so yes.
Oh, did she come in?
She came in for the meeting.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Well, cool. Well, we'll see you, Bertie. Congratulations from your good friends here, Pablo and Rob on Good Morning Huntsville.
Pablo and
Thanks,
Steve.
guys. Have a good morning.
Yeah, see you later. Yeah, do I look like a Steve maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I feel terrible. I told you it was going to happen, and now it's happened twice.
It's got to be hard for him.
Oh, man.
Being so good looking.
Yeah, it's tough, man. So, well, there it is, friends. We appreciate you joining us today. Exciting show lined up tomorrow as we're going to have our good friend on joining us, Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers, and then Billy Cawthon, Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, will be back in studio tomorrow. We weren't able to do a show last Friday just because I wasn't feeling great, and I wanted to let folks know too. We are looking for part-time help here at Hello Huntsville. I need some help getting some stories out, as well as days where maybe I can't make it on the show. We always want to have the show going every day. We're 115 episodes in, and the last 3 episodes on Friday and then Monday and Tuesday were the only 3 that we've ever missed, even if I was out. And so we want to make sure that we're always uplifting and providing encouragement to our community here in Huntsville. Pablo, I'm going to ask you because it's your first time. What are you thankful for here in Huntsville, Texas, man? What does this community really mean to you, man?
I like the close-knitness. It's got it's not necessarily a horribly small town, but it still has that small town mentality. It's weird because when you're in a bigger city and you style someone's hair or do something, you may never see them until they're back in your chair. Here, I do someone's hair, and then I go to the local market and I see them, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, it's a little different, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's great. Well, that's what we love about Huntsville. We love lifting up everyone. Before we go, a lot of folks were chiming in. Our good friend Russell Humphrey was joining us saying, let's go Huntsville. Sorry I didn't get to these earlier. Kyle Kreiner saying that he was talking about somebody getting a discount to the Color Bar. Not sure, Kyle, who you were mentioning there. Oh, yeah, talking about Birdie. Yeah, she may have got a discount over there. I'm not sure. Cassie's joining us this morning as well, saying good morning, God bless, from Cassie Brooks. We appreciate you. Brittany Wright chiming in today, saying good morning, happy Thursday. Our good friends over at Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine. Randolph Thompson saying, good morning, Huntsville. Be the one who makes a difference for someone today. We always try to have maybe a little inspirational part here on the show, Pablo, and that's the message today. Make a difference for somebody out there today. You're doing it behind the chair at the salon, but you're also just giving this great feeling to folks, helping to boost their confidence. And what you do definitely makes a difference in other people's lives, Pablo. And so, be like Pablo. Find something, whether it's through your career or something that you're doing today, where you can make a difference in someone else's life. Other folks that were chiming in, quite a few of them. Just want to mention a few here. Kyle was saying earlier, I'm driving to Lafayette. Got to drive through the belly of the beast. Do you know what that is, the belly of the beast?
I can only imagine it being Beaumont.
Is that what it was, Kyle?
I can only imagine. That is a horrible drive.
The belly of the beast as he's driving through. Also, our good friend chiming in, joining the show a little bit late today, but saying better late than never. Good morning, folks, from the Lost Picture Show. We appreciate you and many others. Also, I wanted to say a big prayers for a speedy recovery for our good friend Jamie Saucier of Saucier Woodworks. Jamie did chime in saying thank you to Clay who brought that up. He is still in Memorial, Houston. And so, Jamie, I didn't know you were over there, man, but whatever you're battling, I just pray as well for a quick and fast recovery. It's always great to see you joining our show as well. And I love what Quentin said earlier. Quentin Music Man Williams, who got $100 from me the other day, yesterday, took $100. He guessed what was going on. He said, good morning, Huntsville, make today count. Thankful Thursday from Jennifer Augustinetti. Thea Markham also joining us as well. So many people. And again, sorry that it took a while to get to those. Pablo, thanks, man. Been fun.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Are you going to come back on again sometime?
Sure, yeah.
All right. Well, I was hoping we didn't scare you off, Pablo. So that's our ultimate goal when we have new folks on the show, is that they'll come back. So I guess we did all right.
Yeah.
Well, friends, that'll wrap it up today. Remember to download the Spirit Radio app. You can go to spiritradio.fm, download the app, stay engaged 24/7, 365. With inspirational music and messages. And, of course, you can hear this show around 7 o'clock every morning, Monday through Friday. Also want to encourage you, visit our website at hellohuntsvilletx.com. It's been a little bit lagging on content this past week just with me being out, but now that I'm back and feeling much better, we will have content updated, including articles from many folks around town that put special sections on the website. But, again, just go to hellohuntsvilletx.com. Friends, as I wrap up every single show, I want to remind you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. As always, good morning, Huntsville. God bless. We'll see you back at it bright and early tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. right here on your show. It is your show. Good morning, Huntsville. So long, everyone.